Hey friends, in the last part we did power series expansion of complex functions and I left you with two problems. Problem 1 was to find the Laurent series expansion of the function f of z equals to e raised to z plus e raised to 1 by z about the point z equals to 0. It was a pretty straightforward question, but still. Now we know e raised to z is equal to summation n equals to 0 to infinity z raised to n upon n factorial for mod of z less than infinity. Now this is also something that we saw in the last part. Therefore f of z will be equal to e raised to z plus e raised to 1 by z is nothing but summation n equals to 0 to infinity z raised to n upon n factorial plus summation n equals to 0 to infinity 1 by z the whole raised to n upon n factorial. This I can write as summation n equals to 0 to infinity z raised to n plus 1 by z raised to n into 1 by n factorial. This is valid for 0 less than mod of z less than infinity. So this is our answer, option C. In problem 2, we needed to find the starting terms in the Taylor series expansion of log cos hx about the point x equals to 0. Now we know Taylor series is given as f of z is equal to f of, or we can say here f of x is equal to f of x naught plus derivative of f dash of x naught into x minus x naught plus f double dash of x naught x minus x naught the whole squared upon 2 factorial plus so on, and this series goes on. So now we are having f of x is equal to log cos hx. Therefore our x naught is 0. So f of 0 will be log of cos 0, that is log 1, which is nothing but 0. Now I'll do differentiation with respect to x. F dash of x will be equal to tan hx. This will give us at point 0 we'll have again 0. Second order derivative f double dash of x will be 1 minus tan squared hx. This at point 0 will give us 1. Third order derivative with respect to x will be minus 2 tan hx into 1 minus tan squared hx, and this will give us at point 0 will be again 0. Now fourth order derivative will be minus 2 1 minus tan squared hx plus 6 tan squared hx 1 minus tan squared hx. This at point 0 will give us minus 2 and so on. Now let's put these values in this Taylor series expansion. F of x is equal to f of x naught, that is 0, plus f dash of x naught, which is 0, f double dash 1 into x minus 0 the whole squared upon 2 factorial plus again 0 plus this term minus 2 x minus 0 the whole raised to 4 upon 4 factorial. Solving this we'll get x squared by 2 minus x raised to 4 by 12 plus so on. So this is our answer, option A. Now let's begin with singular points and finding the different types of singular points. Let's say we have a function f of z. Now to find the solution or the 0 of the function, we take f of z equals to 0 and get the values of z. We also know that singular points are those points where our function does not behave well. That is, our function is not analytic at that point. And to find such points, we equate the denominator of the function to 0. Now singular points are of two types. One is known as the isolated singular point and the other is the non-isolated singular point. If z is equal to z naught is a singular point of the function f of z, and we can isolate this z naught from all the other singular points, then this z naught is called as the isolated singular point. In other words, the condition of singularity is satisfied by only finite number of points. Then those points are called as isolated singular points. For example, let's consider the function f of z is equal to 1 by z into z minus 1. We know for finding the singular points, we take the denominator equals to 0. So we get z into z minus 1 equals to 0, and this implies we get z equals to 0 and 1. Both these 0 and 1 are the isolated singular points. But if z equals to z naught is a singular point of our function f of z, and this point cannot be isolated from the neighboring singular points, then this z naught is called as the non-isolated singular point. That is, if the condition of singularity is satisfied by infinite number of points, then few points will be non-isolated and others will be isolated in nature. For example, let's consider f of z is equal to cot pi by z. Now cot pi by z can be written as cos pi by z divided by sin pi by z. Now we know again, for finding the singular points, we take denominator equals to 0. So we have sin pi by z equals to 0. This implies pi by z is equal to n pi, or z is equal to 1 by n, where the values of n are 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2 up to plus minus infinity. Now here we can see that when n is equal to plus minus infinity, we get z equals to 0, and when n is equal to 0 or plus minus 1 and so on, we get z equals to infinity, plus minus 1, plus minus 1 by 2 and so on. Now this point z, when n equals to plus minus infinity and z equals to 0, this is the non-isolated singular point, where these points are isolated singular points. Now how did we exactly say that this point is non-isolated? Because from here we can see that for n equals to infinity, we will get z equals to 0, and even for n equals to infinity minus 1, we will get z equals to 0. This point cannot be isolated from the neighboring singular points, thus it is called as the non-isolated singular point. Therefore, the singular points corresponding to n equals to plus minus infinity will be non-isolated in nature, and the singular points corresponding to the finite values of n will be isolated in nature. Now consider the Laurent series expansion of f of z. F of z is summation n equals to 0 to infinity a n z minus z0 the whole power n plus summation n equals to 1 to infinity b n upon z minus z0 the whole raised to n. And we also know that this term is called as the principal part of the Laurent series expansion. Now we are having first essential singular points. If the principal part of the Laurent series expansion contains infinite number of negative power terms of z minus z0, then z0 is called as essential singular point. Therefore, exponential of 1 by z minus a the whole raised to m, cos 1 by z minus a the whole raised to m, sin 1 by z minus a the whole raised to m, where m is a positive integer, have essential singular points. If z equals to z naught is an essential singular point of our function f of z, then all those negative powers of z minus z naught which are present in our Laurent series expansion cannot be removed by multiplying with any positive powers of z minus z naught. A characteristic of essential singular points is that the limit z tends to z naught, f of z does not exist. Second, we have non-essential singular points or poles. If the principal part of the Laurent series expansion contains finite number of negative powers of z minus z naught, then z equals to z naught is a non-essential singular point. If z equals to z naught is a non-essential singular point of the function f of z, then the negative powers of z minus z naught which are present in the Laurent series expansion can be removed by multiplying with some positive power of z minus z naught. To find non-essential singular points, there are various methods. First we will take the function f of z, expand it using the Laurent series expansion, and if it contains finite number of negative power terms of z minus z naught, then we say that it is a non-essential singular point. And the order of the pole will be the modulus of highest negative power of z minus z naught present in the Laurent series expansion. The second method is, if limit z tends to z naught, z minus z naught, the whole raised to m, f of z is a non-zero finite value, then z equals to z naught is a non-essential singular point and order of the pole is this value m. The third method is, if limit z tends to z naught, f of z gives us some non-zero by zero form, then z equals to z naught is a non-essential singular point. And the fourth method is, let's say we have the function f of z which is of the form some p of z upon q of z. And at z equals to z naught, we get f of z naught is equal to p of z naught upon q of z naught. Now let the order of the 0 here be equal to n and the order of 0 of the denominator be equal to m. So how do we get m? We'll take the denominator q of z naught, equate it to 0 and we'll get the value of m. And we take the numerator and differentiate it so that we get p dash of z naught. And if p dash of z naught is not equal to 0, then the value of n will be equal to 1. In case p dash of z naught is equal to 0, we will differentiate it again and we get p double dash of z naught. Now if this is not equal to 0, then we'll have n equals to 2. Otherwise, if p dash double dash of z naught is equal to 0, we will differentiate it again. This process will go on until we get not equal to 0 and that differentiation, that order of differentiation will be equal to n. Finally, the order of the pole for this function f of z will be nothing but m minus n. Now, which method to use when can be understood by looking at the question as well as the options given and also by practicing. Third, we have removable singular points. If the principal part of the Laurent series expansion does not contain any negative power terms of z minus z naught, then z equals to z naught is a removable singular point. For removable singular point, the function f of z naught will not be defined, but the limit z tends to z naught, f of z will be a finite value. One another case we have is to find the nature of singularity at z equals to infinity. For this, we will be given the function f of z, then we put z equals to 1 by t and get the function f of 1 by t. Now we will find the nature of singularity of this function f of 1 by t at t equals to 0. And whatever we will get will be the nature of singularity of f of z at z equals to infinity. That is, this function f of 1 by t at t equals to 0 and f of z at z equals to infinity, both of their singularities will have the same nature if z equals to 1 by t. Things will become more clear as we move ahead and as you solve more problems. Try solving the following problems. We are having a function f of z which is e power root z minus e power minus root z divided by sine root z. We have to find which of the following three options is correct. Whether z equals to 0 is a pole of order 1, or z equals to 0 is a removable singular point, or z equals to 0 is essential singularity for the given function. The second problem is, for the function f of z which is given as z upon sine pi z squared, we have to find which of the three options are correct. For the next two problems, you have to find the nature of singularity for the function z upon z squared plus 4 the whole squared and z minus sine hz upon z cube. We will solve all of these problems in the next part, inshallah. Till then, peace be upon you.